Welcome to another edition of the Husker Fans in Montana podcast. I'm Ricky J, here with Karl.
Hello, guys. How are you?
And Jeff in Omaha. Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Good to be back.
Yeah, we worked through some technical difficulties, still working through a few, and we think we have it down. Unfortunately, we're missing one of the legs of the stool. Brian is sick.
Feeling under the weather tonight.
Yes. So, like you said earlier, we're missing the stash.
Missing the stash.
Well, I'll get us started with some news. Nebraska handed Rutgers their first loss, beating them 14-7. Cornerback Tommy Hill returned from a foot injury this week, but offensive lineman Turner Cochran is still out with the hamstring. Rutgers was previously undefeated with wins against Howard 44-7, Akron 49-17, Virginia Tech 26-23, Washington 21-18, but Nebraska beats them. Our next game, Sunday the 13th, the EA Sports simulation game of Nebraska versus Indiana will go live. So we have to skip a week because we got the bye week this week, but then that one will be out there for folks that are looking for it. And Nebraska senior punter Brian Buschini from Helena, Montana, here, was named the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week for his outstanding performance in the game against Rutgers, averaging 50.2 yards per punt, including 2 punts which pinned Rutgers on their 5 and 11-yard line.
And not to mention a nice little pass that he had.
Yes, he did have a nice pass, his first pass ever. So that was something. Would you guys get some initial thoughts on the game? What do you, obviously happy for a win, right?
Happy for a win. And we'll take it any way we can get it. I think we had a few mistakes that first half. The second half came around and defense played, shut down Rutgers. I mean, that was great, I thought.
Jeff, initial thoughts on the game?
Yeah, kind of the same. I mean, I pleasantly pleased to see that Dylan doesn't have his best game. Maybe he's off a little bit, but yet the team's able to rally with a lot of help from Brian and pull out a close win, a one-score win. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah, I did too. I thought the defense really played out of their minds. But before I get into the game highlights, Karl, what do we got for Whiskey Corner?
Oh, we have Travelers, which is a Buffalo Trace brand that's kind of a Chris Stapleton's one, and it's a blended whiskey. It's not a bourbon. But if you are a fan of Buffalo Trace bourbon, it tastes very similar. About the same price, too. It's about $35, $37. It's not bad on its own, but it's actually a really nice one to make as your base for an old-fashioned. So I use a lot for that, but it's not a bad bourbon. Bad whiskey for the price. So.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna take a sip for the camera here in my birthday Husker glasses that you guys got me.
Yes. Yeah, there it is.
That's right. All bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbons.
That's
Is
right.
that the saying?
That's right.
So, also, I'm chasing that with a Juicy Obsession from Lewis and Clark Brewing Company right here in Helena, Montana, our beer sponsor.
Yes.
So, let me get these game highlight reel going. Let's get her to full screen, and we will be able to chat over this.
Sea of red on a red-hot day in Lincoln, Nebraska. Welcome to college football on FS1. Big contributor for them. Third down and long. Raiola keeps it short, completes underneath. Emmett Johnson is going to be close to the stick. Lindenmeyer lines up as a blocking fullback, and they've got the first down. Nebraska getting off to a horrible start. On third down, they'll convert it. Dowda studying. Third down and 11. For an extra yard, Emmett Johnson, but he is swarmed. Saw Ty Robinson, one of their edge rushers. Good first move to get away. This is going to result in a first down and more.
I was a little worried the way he was running that first and I think second drive.
I like how number 2 chased him down from behind.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And off Monangai again. Cuts it back. Monangai slips a tackle. Gets a block from his quarterback. Gets the first down. Some man-to-man opportunities. Manis. His pass batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, nice hit. That looked like a pretty clean hit, too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he hit him right around the shoulder pads.
And they're going to fake it and not get it.
Out of that secondary, Scarlet Knights go for the fake.
Raiola with tons of time, steps up in the pocket, delivers on.
That was a nice pass.
Into plus territory.
Yes.
Barney.
But the guy's tough as nails, fearless going across.
I mean, he had a good first half, and luckily we got our 14 points in the first half. The offense really struggled, and he struggled. But, you know, if this is one of his worst days, we're pretty well off. So,
And the question is, do you think it was that he struggled, or did Rutgers make some adjustments at halftime that kind of contained him?
well, I think there was a lot of different looks from what they were saying, and obviously you have two professional NFL coaches squaring off against each other. So I think they were able to show a lot of different looks and different things that he had never seen before.
Yeah,
And they
I
were
bet.
able to disguise their coverages. But yeah, it gave him something to learn from. I think something
Definitely.
to motivate him.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause he's going to have to get used to those disguised looks.
Yeah.
Defenses are going to do that.
What were your feelings on that, Jeff?
Yeah, similar. I mean, I think they probably did confuse him quite a bit coming out after half, and if we can get that experience and still pull out a victory, I think that's a huge plus.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely made a step forward. It's not, you know, this giant step that we all are hoping for, but we would have been losing these games last year, these close games.
I agree. And I think that's a sign of a good team,
Yeah.
is that they can win those games, those tough ones, those close ones.
Yeah, and I think he got a little wonky. I think there was open guys, a lot of those passes. He just kind of got blinders on and tried to make too much out of it, maybe.
I wish there was a site you could go to get the non-production video feed of the game. And because I'd like to be able to see the whole field when you're kind of analyzing a game.
A good run on third down this afternoon. They'll hand it off again, and they'll get the first down.
Tremendous job on all three.
Nice move by Ramir Johnson.
Guys put a little extra weight on him.
Raiola play action.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
That's-
he just didn't see
yeah,
that
didn't see him.
linebacker.
Yep, didn't.
One man
Yeah.
lead is going to be forced out along the sideline by
And just kind of predetermines that he's going to throw this
And he,
football
I mean,
Yep.
it was a high snap, which probably shook him up a little bit. But yeah, he was throwing to that dude no matter what.
No matter what, because he was covered pretty well anyway. I mean, that guy was on his back like a backpack, man.
Yeah.
This is sacked. Ty Robinson unabated to the
for
corner.
a big man. Now Taj White in at that left guard spot because Brian
Third down and 17. Callie McManus. Running back screen. Monangai makes a man miss. Rutgers, they need to get to the 33-yard line. Callie McManus to pass.
Well, that back they had was awesome, though. That guy is a stud.
Oh yeah. I mean, to hold him to under 100 yards after that first, I think, I don't know, the first and maybe second combined, he was in that 70-yard range drive. So then our defense to be able to just shut him down. And they did get the 14-point lead, but that didn't force them to change their game plan. He just wasn't effective. You know, Nebraska shut him down.
Nice touch in that pass.
Yeah.
176 receiving yards the last 2 weeks. There's a nice cut up.
Nice block.
Ramir Johnson. Stop cut across the 15.
I get to call his name again. Number 59, the right guard, Henry Lutovsky.
Yeah, a nice block there.
Coming out and getting the big block on Eric Rogers. You know, that's one of those ones. Those cornerbacks hate to see that.
That's a nice counter.
And Bonner to the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Satterfield and Bonner, a former fullbacks, kind of like that second guy around. You get one of the offensive linemen coming on the wrap, but you could just see the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I just kept waiting for the offense to get one more drive, and put the game away, and it never happened.
They should have scored on Brian's pass, though. I mean, he had one dude to beat.
Yeah, he had the return guy to beat, and yeah. I think Brian says in his press conference that his long punt pinning him at the dagger punt was still his favorite play, but if he would have scored on that, wide receiver would have scored on that pass, then that would have definitely been his favorite play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had more yards, more passing yards in the second half than Dylan did.
That's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
Completes along the near sideline. Keep in mind the second half has been the worst of the two in general this year. This is a great start to this drive after Nebraska had their worst decade, if we're being honest. Raiola flushed out.
Seemed like it was a little bit more pressure on him this game.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
I mean,
there's
Up for grabs, picked up by the Scarlet Knights. Quan Loyal to the goal line. Hits the pylon, but he is ruled out at the 3. Second block punt for Rutgers this afternoon.
It's Jameer Wright Collins just right up the middle on this one. Unusual, the upbacks weren't expecting that pressure from there.
This is a beautiful stand. As a matter of fact, we're going to watch it separately. We're going to watch every play. It's just a tribute to this defense. I mean, to hold them with the Big Ten's leading rushing back.
Yeah, nice
from
play.
the 2-yard line. That's lights out. That's amazing.
Oh man, boy.
And the nice thing is we're ahead in each game on the turnovers, so that's something they wanted to do last year, made it a priority, and you see that paying off.
There you go. The interior defensive line played well.
The polar bear.
The polar bear, yeah.
Coverage sack here on the back end. Hutmaker does a nice job, though. You see the violent hands ripping Gus Zielinski.
On third down.
There you go.
This is dropped again.
That lineman just kind of shoved him into the quarterback.
Yeah.
Here, go get him.
Coming from that right side. That's especially for a young quarterback like Raiola.
Nice run here from Johnson. Rutgers defensively. Third down and 1. Johnson.
Oh, that's a hard hit.
Snaps. There's no substitute for it.
Dremel the deep man. They're going to fake it.
Nice pass, though. That was a nice
Beautiful
touch.
pass. Beautiful
Nice
pass.
touch by Brian.
Now, we talked about this last year, but I mean, we all knew Brian could throw the ball.
Yeah.
And it's just been this long before we've gotten to see it.
Raiola to beat him. And Raiola is sacked here. Back by midfield. Aaron Lewis, one of the top passes.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate on that baby either. He just let it fly.
Yeah.
Sideline. A ball that is caught. Just shy of midfield.
It's a nice catch by Black. That's a tough catch.
True freshman. Working on Marquise Buford on the outside. Runs right.
Yeah, that quarterback with another team has beat Nebraska twice. So this is no slouch.
No.
Shot into coverage.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy.
We
Benny wishes
were
they had that
very,
one back.
very, very fortunate on that play.
They just said he had a nice catch, and now, no, big old butterfingers.
He just falls down, our defender, and
Right off the shoulder pads.
like hits him. Yeah,
That's fun. Yeah.
he was already seeing the touchdown, man.
He was.
He forgot.
Oh, yeah.
He forgot you had to catch it.
He was practicing his dance already.
Yeah. What move am I going to use? My girlfriend's going to love this.
Started midfield. Elliott managed to pass. And he hits his target short. It's KJ Duff
Coming across late.
Elliott managed to hand it off. Monangai, haven't talked much about him. Nebraska's defense is initial spot says they moved it, and I can see the ball right at the bottom back. On first down, Kaliak-Manis to pass, hits his target along the outside.
Good hard hit.
And the goal line stand earlier from Nebraska. Kaliak-Manis to pass, near side, caught at the 3-yard line, diving for the goal line, a touchdown for Ben Black.
So they score.
2 inches that could have been picked off.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes in the game, they score.
It was even tipped.
Yeah.
1 inch.
No, it was very. I mean, they were not lucky when their receiver dropped that ball. They did get lucky on that one.
Yeah.
Him in motion, and I'm not really sure why Dylan Raiola doesn't throw this ball. You don't have a view of it right there. Looked like he had an opportunity to run for a first down. Don't know if he's healthy enough.
Kaliak-Manis steps up in the pocket and is brought down after Scarlet Knights need it. Kaliak-Manis to throw, and he's got it! Ben Black across the... Kaliak-Manis.
Good defensive stand.
Finally got rid of the pass.
It's going to allow him to get home. He's going to be working on right guard Tyler Needham. Spins. Hits home.
One last kneel down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nebraska won 14-7. Great to have a win.
Not the prettiest win, but a win against an undefeated team.
Right.
So,
well, especially like going into this bye, because now you can kind of celebrate a win, but you've got plenty of things to work on.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone should be motivated to work.
That's absolutely.
We have Coach Rhule in his post game. It's about 13 minutes. We'll go ahead and listen to him.
I want to say thank you to Dominic and Sue for coming back and, you know, in his own quiet way. Didn't want to give a big speech, just wanted to meet the fellows and answer questions. And, you know, it's kind of funny. He said a couple things I say all the time, and I looked at Deshaun, and Deshaun said, "Yeah, Coach, he just when he says it, it just kind of hits different." I said, "Thanks, Deshaun." But and Dominic and his family, just so blessed that they were there. And then finally about the game, you know, that was a close win. You know, in many ways, it was a tough day. Credit to Rutgers, credit to Greg Schiano. You know, they did a ton of things against us, but we didn't turn the ball over but once. We won the turnover battle, and I thought it was as great a defensive performance as I've been around. 6 plays inside the 2. You know, just whereas maybe 2 weeks ago in Illinois, we were kind of looking at the clock, worried, are we going to win? I thought this game, this day, the guys just wanted to keep going out there and playing, and they'd have kept playing another series if we let them. So proud of the guys, proud of the team win, and Buschini, I thought was an all-star again today. So with that, I'll answer your questions.
Coach, were you expecting that many big plays, impact plays in the defense as you saw, especially in the second half?
You know, we knew it was going to be a challenge. We talked a lot about the run game, and we knew number 0 was quite a player. Now one of their wideouts, Strong, was down. And we knew Kaliak-Manis how good of a player he is because he beat us last year at Minnesota. The same type of game, right? 14-3, whatever it was. He makes the play down the stretch, taking 2 minutes. So it was like almost like, you know, what do they call it, Groundhog Day? It was almost Groundhog Day. He gets the ball back, he's going to go down there and score. But our defense practiced harder this week than they have probably in 2 years here, you know. And I think that, you know, what they put in came out kind of when the game started. And it was a lot of different guys. We played a lot of different guys, really adverse situations, and really a lot of 3rd and 4th down stops, which was critical.
What did you guys adjust about your run defense? They had 70 rushing yards in the first quarter, and then I don't think they got the 78 for the game. So what did you guys do different?
Yeah, I think it was really kind of 2 things. I think they played the first quarter into the win, so they really ran it a ton into the win. The win was really a factor. Like, people won't see that on TV, but that was really, really a factor. And then maybe not as much in the second half, but certainly in the first half. And then they had the win in the second quarter, so they threw it a little bit more. And I thought if you go back to the first half, really a lot of those plays were just missed tackles. You know, Gift comes off the edge, he's going to hit him in the backfield, just missed the tackle, right? They had one that starts right, comes all the way back, winds back, missed the tackle. So it wasn't like, oh, they've got us on this scheme. We're so grateful to have the iPads now because you can kind of look at it and be like, it's not a scheme thing. We're just missing tackles. You know, they had the 1 3rd and 22 after the sack, and they checked it down, and, you know, he made a guy miss and got it to 4th and 3. So I think it was more that, to be honest. honest with you. We started playing some man. We played some bigger guys. Like Tony's a 3-3-5 guy, but he was playing some 5 down with 2 jacks today. I was really proud of him. That was like him leaving the family almost, but he did what we needed to do. And we played some 3-man rush, some 3-2 stuff. So he had 3 different personnel groupings out there. And then I thought we won 3rd down and won 4th down. That was my key for the defense with this game. Was I said the defense had to win 3rd down. Rutgers gets into a lot of 3rd downs. If we won them, we'd get off the field. If they stayed on the field, they would wear us down, and that was what we were trying to avoid.
What did you see from Brian Buschini today? Obviously, he went down with that injury. I mean, were you worried that he was out of the game? Then you call him for a fake punt and probably won the game with that last punt for you guys there.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. I mean, obviously he got hit hard. And we knew we were going to call that fake punt, and really almost called it the first time, and then almost called it at the 5-yard line, the one at the 5 when they blocked it. They were bringing 10 guys, and there was no one covering them. And then finally we called it the 3rd time. But I just Brian, what we thought was the unsung hero last week, and I say he's the unsung hero this week. And he did a great job on the last one. We were asking him the 1-step punt versus the all-out max block, and he saw them drop out, and so he slowed down. He took 3 steps, and he just boomed that kick, And we took the ball today, wanting to have the wind in the 4th quarter and make them go into the wind in the 4th quarter. That's why we took the ball. And I thought that ball got up in the wind, and it spiraled around. I mean, had that young man tried to catch it, it might have, it would have been a tough catch. I'll just say that. So, I'm really proud of Brian. He showed kind of showed the heart of a lion out there.
Did he almost have to? I mean, it looked like he was hurt fairly bad after the first block. Did he? How close was he to? You were warming up Camden Cook. Like, how close was Brian to coming out?
Yeah, I got out there and he wasn't moving, so I was concerned, obviously. And he was like, "I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's just my, I forget it was my back hip." And got to the side, and I said, "Hey, can you just throw the fake punt for me?" And he was like, "Yes, I can throw the fake punt." And then we had Johnny Hall kick off. And, I said, "Well, can you throw it into the wind?" And he was like, "Yeah, I can throw it in the wind." So he was just locked in. I think he's the guy who's burned the boats in his brain. He's going to do whatever it takes. And medically, he was fine. I think he just took a big hit and was hurt, just felt it.
At the goal line stand, they had 6 cracks after that block punt. How impressive was that, and how important was that to the grand scheme of the game? Yeah,
I think the thing that our guys are learning is when you have some adversity, it's an opportunity for you to rise up and do something special. I think we're getting past the point of wanting things to be easy, hoping the other team doesn't play well, and just wanting to go out and play well ourselves. And so that's the message in this building. Hey, don't want it to be easy. Go out there and play. And I thought they took the field. They wanted to get out there. We took the PI. And, they played hard. I mean, Tony had a little twist stunt. He ran twice. And Nash came around one. I forget. I don't want to not give credit to somebody, but they made big hits and kind of knocked it out of there. And then just defended the 4th down play. So, just some really great stuff. And, it was a tough day in the second half on offense, right? And really on 3rd down. But we did come out and hit that ball to Jay Lloyd, which kind of opened the field up a little bit. And so then we were able to at least, kind of get out of there. And I might have the drives messed up, so you have to forgive me if things go fast for me in the game. But I thought the defense, they didn't really care what happened today. They were just going to keep playing.
What lessons do you think Dylan can take out of a day-to-day when they were coming after him and he had some moments he'd probably like back?
I think this is all part of the continuum of learning and growing. And I think you go back and you just say to yourself, what was it? What bothered me? But at the end of the day, let's make sure, at least for me, I have to make sure, we weren't high-flying today on offense. We weren't scoring. We scored 14 in the first half, which was good because they've had a lead pretty much every game, right? The whole key against a team like this is you got to get the lead and make them not play. Had they been up 14-0, we would have seen 70 runs, right? And so we did get the lead, and so that's what we needed from the offense. But the key is that we didn't, we protected the ball. We had the 1 interception on the RPO, but after that, even as he's taking those sacks, he's at least protecting the football, and we're punting the ball away. So, every week, last week it was the field goal, this week it was the punt, this week it was a couple sacks. There's a lot of things we have to improve upon in all areas. Kind of as we fix one thing, something else pops up. But, that was a day for the offense, as I said, to them just in there just now. They were having to draw new things up. And Greg Schiano is one of the greatest defensive coaches that there is, and he had stuff out there that was really confusing. He had Mike linebackers playing D-line, and guys were trying to figure it out. So we'll get better from it.
With the offense, you had several, 3rd down, 4th down, short yardage tries. Brought in extra lineman Liebentritt. I mean, just what did you like about those looks and the way the guys executed?
Yeah, well, we know Micah's a big, powerful guy. He's been practicing with us, and so we were going to take some. We were here to win today. It was 4th and 1 on our own 30, whatever it was on the first drive. We ran power. We ran 4th and 1 on the goal line. We thought it'd be a good matchup for us. Him knocking the edge back. We really like Barrett Liebentritt. I think he's a guy that's getting better and better and better for us. Even the one backed up, we hit that run. I think the big, today was a day of like, we run the fake punt, and this is not negative. It's just we run the fake punt, and they just tackle us, and it's like, oh, geez, man, the returner got us. Or we hit that power, and the safety comes across and gets us late. Like, kind of needed to step out of one and make that a 21-0 game. But yeah, it was good to get Mike involved in the game, and this will be a tape that we can learn a lot from as we heal this week. It's been a tough ride here, right? So, in terms of 6, not many teams in the Big Ten, I don't think have done 6 straight games. Maybe a couple have. A lot have had a bye. So, I'm glad we have a bye, and we'll see if we can get better.
You came in and mentioned that Kaliak Manis had you guys in this spot a year ago and went down and won the game. Was that in any way on your mind when you were out there, or was it just something that came in when you stepped up to the podium?
No. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we knew that as I try to orchestrate how the game could go, I always talk about how I wanted to go, and then, hey, the things that could happen. And one of the things for me was like, hey, if it turns into a throw game, like how are we going to play it, right? And they've shown excellent protection. They double chip both edges and they try to protect. And we played a lot of man early, and then late in the game as we had the lead, we went to a little bit more zone after they hit those 2 deep balls in the third to last drive. But no, when I'm out there, I'm just my mind's just thinking, right? I'm thinking, but I just know he's a good player, and so when you played against someone, you've seen what they can do. But I was, happy that the field worked out where they were throwing into the wind, and I thought, our pass rush really showed up.
It was warm there early on. This is the first season you guys have switched sidelines. Did you feel the advantage of being in the shade for the first half?
Yeah, well, I think if I'd have sat on the other side, I might have felt worse. I don't know that I noticed, other than it never felt super hot to me. I think I was more taken with the wind. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a day that's 95 and that windy, especially early on, and then gusting. And so even in pregame, the balls were kind of flying around a little bit. You remember now, I think they missed a field goal earlier, correct, right? Am I right on that? Right, so just thought the wind would be a big deal today. It was unique in that the wind came out of the south. It was going south to north in pregame, and then when we came out for the kick, it was going north to south. And Dr. Elza does a great job. She talks, and they told us it was going to flip as the day went on. And so they actually gave us the win for the first quarter. And so I thought we did a good job early on in the game. But it was just a lot of different factors out there. But it wasn't too hot for us. And again, we played a lot of guys, knowing that we wanted to be fresh in the fourth.
What kind of value is it to win one-score game? I know last week was a very close game, but this is a one-score game to prove to your guys that they can do this.
Yeah, I don't even think, respectfully, I don't even think it's even like, hey, you can do this. I think it's more like, how do you do this? And how do you do it is you don't start looking at the scoreboard and the clock hoping that it runs down. You play. Just go play. And so even at the end, they got that first down on 4th down, and you didn't see our group look dejected. You didn't see them. The defense just lined back up and played again. And Buschini you need some guys to make some plays, right? Buschini makes that punt. That punt's amazing in that condition. So I think it's just the how. The how is getting to those moments and having your heart rate not rise up, just continuing to play. And just trying to make one more play than they make.
So are you surprised they didn't go after that last punt of yours? And they just let him punt?
I don't know. Yeah, I think the thought was, hey, we're one-stepping it. Hey, let's go ahead and get it. Let's get it out and then return it. But I'm glad they didn't. I didn't know. That was my concern, was them blocking it. Again, and it's all a simple thing. It's some veteran guys. A guy. They're bringing one more than we can block, right? And so they're not covering anybody. They're coming after you. And so if I could go back, man, I'd have called that punt fake earlier, because it would have. You sit there, you're sitting there all week, and you're saying to yourself, man, I bet you they change. I bet you they're not going to do it this week. I bet you they change. And so when you get out there and see it, you're like, oh, okay. And then I should have done it on the 5-yard line. So, but I think doing it, even though no points came out of it, I thought the guys on the sideline were energized. Like, hey, coach is with us. Coach Foley's with us. Ed designed it. When I say I called it, Ed wants to call it every time. It's just me being like, all right, as the game manager, okay, let's do it, Ed. So it was a big time call, and it worked out. It flipped the field, and maybe that slowed them down later on in that last drive.
What
Coach,
kind of boost did James Williams give you?
I'm sorry?
James Williams, what kind of boost did he give you? I mean, he's making plays. Talk about guys making plays. There's a guy right there.
I think James is a guy that's practicing. He's trying to get better. He's doing really well in school. He's growing in every facet of his life. I'm very proud of him. And, he practices really hard, and as a result, he plays really hard. This was a week that we did a lot of stuff with big people. So there was reps this week where him and Kai and those guys were going over the scout team and giving the offense a look. No agenda, no egos, just trying to get better at their craft. And then, again, because we took the ball early and because we were able to get a little bit of a lead, now you're able to pass rush at the end of the game, and it kind of changed everything.
Well, Jeff, what were some of your thoughts on what Coach Rhule had to say?
I kind of get caught up in his stuff. I mean, it's almost like the three of us sitting around. It's like not a lot of coach speak in there. I mean, he throws the little things in there like when he talks to the team. But no, I like it. I like how he said, just go out there and play. Like, don't get tight. Just go play, and don't hope for the game to be over. It's refreshing to hear because I think it's a lot of what we think about, and you just don't know what's going on inside the walls of that locker room, and he gives you a pretty good view of it.
Yeah, I do think that he sort of just tells it the way it is. Karl, do you have any thoughts?
It's kind of, it's really clear that he was going to do that fake punt no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, he clearly saw something in their film that saw that they were susceptible to that. I mean, it wasn't the first time, second time. It was going to be the third time. They were going to do that punt, that fake punt. So
you'll see that they don't cover the gunners.
Yeah.
So later they dropped down back two guys from the middle instead of rushing them. But and so
I bet
then
they will
they
next
covered
time.
Yeah, they did, and that did slow them down. But yeah, they were not covering the gunner. So there was a 10 to 15 yard, 20-yard gap where that gunner was just open.
Yeah.
I bet they will. I mean, they did make some adjustments. So
Schiano's too good of a coach. He won't let that happen too much more.
Well, and now they know, other teams better know Brian's got an arm.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So we've got a little more time, obviously, since we have a bye week. And now for folks listening, Nebraska will play Indiana Saturday, October 19th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that is looking like it's going to be on Fox. So we're going to do a little deeper dive. I've got defense highlight video, and then the goal line stand because I really think they deserve it. But before we do, let's go over our predictions from last week. So the actual, obviously, it ended up Nebraska 14, Rutgers 7. The simulator had Nebraska 23, Rutgers 18, off by 15 points. Brian had Nebraska 21, Rutgers 17, off by 17 points. Did not beat the sim. I lost because I did not predict that Nebraska would win. Jeff had Nebraska 31, Rutgers 20, off by 30 points. And Karl is this week's winner. He chose to pick Nebraska to be 17, Rutgers 14, off by 10 points. So thank goodness one of us beat the sim.
Well, and at least I picked Nebraska. What are you talking?
One of us beat AI.
Yeah.
Hey, if that in any way helped Nebraska win,
yes,
I don't think I can pick them the rest of the year if they keep winning.
Yeah, just keep picking the opposition.
Exactly, and have a little meltdown, before each week.
There you go.
Each week before the game. But so we're gonna dive into really, like I'm saying, I think the defense really shined this game, and they did very well last week, so it's kind of like the defense we saw in the Colorado game, and the defense that we thought we were going to have, and they really put on a performance the last 2 weeks. And in this game, like I said, we're gonna see stuff that I think they really deserve to be highlighted. So it
really looked like that interior line dominated the line of scrimmage.
Yes, I agree. So we'll be able to talk over this, and this will be just about a 4-minute defensive highlight.
This has done so well all year. Monangai this time met in the backfield and tackled for a loss.
Like I said, they shut Monangai down. Big Ten's top leading rusher at the time.
To have the ball or one. Judy is after Monangai.
Yeah, bad decision.
So yeah, when we say special teams, I mean they had some good plays there, defending that fake. It's really just our snapping and that long snapper. You'll see Brian. We're going to highlight his punts, but he picks one right off the turf, a snap. So we got problems on special teams, but not all the special teams are a problem. Listen to me.
And they can be corrected.
Yes. Yeah, they can. We didn't get, probably because of the wind and the situation. I mean, obviously, there was never an opportunity to see if the field goal kicking.
Right.
But, they have the extra week to go figure that out.
Mm-hmm. It always looks weird to see someone wearing the number 0 who's that big.
I know.
It doesn't seem to fit.
You're right.
And they're holding him. They're pulling his jersey.
I know.
And he's still chasing him down.
Out of the pocket, moving to his left. And Marquise Buford, we've called his name a bunch of times today, but I have no idea.
Third down after a gain of 4. Third down and 6. Callie McManus steps up in the pocket. Sidearm throw.
That's a good athletic play there.
Yeah, you love to see him
Good
going for the
eye-hand
ball.
coordination, yeah.
Nice confidence. Just saying, I'm going to take this.
And to stick with it like that, that's good.
Yeah. To complete that catch was impressive.
Boom. Right there.
Anchor number 0. All 6'4", 310 pounds of him. He breaks free with that first shot for Monangai, and then Isaac Gifford's there to clean it up.
Strength on strength. Third down and goal.
Nice play. That's a great play.
And tackled shy of the goal line. Fletcher.
Yeah, Nebraska had a penalty, so they actually stopped him 2 extra plays.
Yeah.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Scarlet Knights are not out of this yet. The only thing, though, is it seems like this run game has been neutralized.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Definitely neutralized.
They did.
Big old number 0.
Just has nowhere to go. You're going to see Williams coming from that right side. That's where Callie McManus is initially trying to.
Yeah, Williams had one heck of a game.
Callie McManus pumps and is swarmed. Pocket broke down on him.
Breaks down, and Callie McManus just ready to release this ball over the middle, but sees a defender break late.
With time to pass.
Seriously, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no push by the offensive line.
No, it was a great effort by the defense. I mean, the offense, again, we got some issues on special teams. Brian, in the punting, did very well. And on the defensive side, they held up against the fake punt and that stuff. Our offense, you could say we had a good first half. It seems like each game we're getting about a half out of the offense, really, when we say, okay, now whether in some games that's been play calling and on purpose, slowing it down, or whether that's been, some issues.
Yeah, and the good thing is that Dylan didn't have a great game.
Right.
He played like a freshman.
Yeah.
It didn't cost us the game.
Right.
I think that, and he's going to get better. I mean, like you said, well, like Coach said, Schiano is one of the best defensive coaches there is. They were complicated. Those are NFL schemes that they were throwing at him. Yeah. He'll get better at that. I mean, that's for us to win that and keep the composure, the defense to play that they did. That's great.
Yep. Jeff, any thoughts before we go on to the goal line stand?
Yeah, just a lot of the same. I'm glad. It doesn't seem like they will, but I think it'd be hard. We'll see where we end up at the end of the year. Like that Illinois game may haunt these guys a little bit. It's almost like they looked at it and like, God, we can do better, and now they're out and set. So losses are never good, but maybe it was a good thing to get them regrounded and focused.
Well, yeah, the Illinois game
they look great.
And frankly, the University of Northern Iowa game, they ran on them too much. And so coming out of that Colorado game, I was like, wow, this defense is for real. And then the UNI game, I looked at that and I'm like, okay, how many starters were playing? Did we do something weird where we knew we had that game and we just kind of let it go? Yeah. But then that Illinois game is like, that doesn't look very good. And boy, they sure showed up in the Purdue game and the Rutgers game. They've certainly, in my opinion, gotten back to what I think we all thought they were going to be.
But Illinois is also showing to have been a good team. I mean, they're undefeated.
They are.
I mean,
right.
So they're a quality team.
I know you tried to tear them down and say, well, they beat Washington, but Washington lost to Washington State, and you did that really to pick on Brian.
Washington just knocked off Michigan, so Indiana's going to be a tough one, but they're undefeated too. Yeah. So,
Vanderbilt number 1.
Vanderbilt, God, that was a game.
That's a heck of a game,
boy.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
The goalposts are still floating down the river.
No doubt.
It's like a $200,000 fine or something that goes to Alabama.
Well, I know, and they're only $18,000 goalposts. I mean, come on.
Really?
Yeah, it's like some wild deal. But I guess the opponent gets the money for those fines.
Really? Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start, and again, we can talk over, but this is like the pinnacle moment because we're only ahead 14. We got a block punt, and they have the ball on our 2 with the leading rusher in the Big Ten, and really, although we've shut him down in the second half, late first half, second half to this point, it's like when you have that good a rusher and you think, how are you going to stop him for 2 yards?
Great defensive stand. Boom, right there.
Yeah, I mean, with Nash getting in there and then Gifford taking care of it.
I love Huntmaker. He's like my favorite player. He just looks weird the 0, but he's just a beast.
Yeah.
It's just so nice to see Nebraska players be where they're supposed to be, and dominate somebody.
And not look lost.
Not look lost.
Remember a few years ago, Jeff, we were always commenting on the bad angles they were taking and it's like, come on.
Yeah, not going where they're supposed to be. I mean, it's just so much nicer to see them be disciplined and like he said, no egos. Let somebody else get the tackle, but I'm going to do my assignment,
Yeah, so much better, Coach. Now, this is his flag.
Holding, defense, number 8. Hazardous to the goal, automatic, first down.
So now they got to stop on 4 more plays.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Take a look at this, lined up in the slot. Oh, jeez. He just pulls him right down to the ground.
Did he pull him down or did he?
Yeah, that's it. They're saying he pulled him down. It's almost like he was trying to block.
Yeah, I think he lost his balance pushing forward. I mean, I don't really see him pulling him down to the ground, but
yeah, it's pretty weak.
Yeah, I'd say that. Of course, we're kind of homers, but that's okay.
Yeah, we might be biased.
We might be biased.
They said that their coach did not challenge this because he knows that he was told, they are reviewed in the booth, each one. So it's already reviewed. And so they've chosen, he chose not to do it. Then lose a timeout in the second half.
Yeah, because that looks close.
And they do go through it, and it is close, but he doesn't get in.
Right. Knees down right there. Yeah. Okay. Right at the line, though.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness. I mean, 6 inches.
Look at it.
Boy, that makes
Boom. And now he loses yards.
The Nebraska
or not
effort
yards. He
there
loses distance.
is even more impressive. I mean, think about 6 inches. My God.
Yeah.
Look at the Olay move by Hutmaker on the inside. He slides over 2
He's my hero.
gaps on this play and gets all the way back to jump on Monangai's.
We're going to get Karl a life-size standee.
I need a Nebraska jersey that has 0 on it. Just
Strength on strength. 3rd down and goal. Fake the give.
I mean, that's a beautiful tackle right there.
That's a great play.
You can't get any better than that.
No. Singleton did a great
Singleton's
job on that.
he's playing well this year, quietly playing well.
Pretty loud there.
Yeah.
Slide over and then jump on the back of Monangai to get the stop. And then Deshaun Singleton, man-to-man coverage, has to follow Fletcher on the motion. Nice secure tackle to keep him out of the end zone. And force 4th down.
This is a huge stand. I mean, seriously, this is one of those stands that almost defines their season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Flags come in. To Demir Miller.
It should have been a false start, but they give him the timeout. I don't think Coach Rhule was very happy.
Matt Rhule not thrilled with the Scarlet Knights getting their timeout in under the wire.
Got to get a little topper there, Karl.
Oh, please.
It's getting a little,
absolutely.
ice has melted it down
yeah.
just a little too much.
Yeah, and there you go. Suck it down.
Yeah. I like this bottle, too. It's kind of like an Old West. It's
Yeah.
what you know.
Oh, it's Traveler. I mean, it's good old whiskey.
Nebraska special teams, and then the doink by Patel off that right upright. Couple interceptions from Kelly McManus, but here an opportunity on 4th down. Points on the board.
85,000 plus on their feet. Looking for the stop.
Miller.
McManus to pass. Nearly intercepted.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, Jeff, I mean, a couple years ago, we would have been looking at that and going, there's just no way. There's no way Nebraska's going to get this stop. Don't you think?
Oh.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you would barely even pray for a field goal because you would be figuring it's a wasted prayer. I mean, that's one of the things as a fan you start fighting now is like the old yips of, oh, shit, this isn't going to go right, or, like I said, it's just so refreshing to watch them battle, be in the right spot, be in the right gap. Just when the machine works, it looks so good. It's for all these years that we've suffered, it's been nice to be able to watch.
That's like I said, though. It's a season-defining thing. I mean, that could set the tempo for the rest of the season right there. That's a hell of a stand. I mean, that's a confidence builder in the defense.
Yeah,
they know they can do it.
I don't care who you're playing. I mean, we have a terrible our fan base to a degree. When we win one, we go, well, they weren't really that good. It's like, no, Illinois is a very good team. We should have beat them. We lost in overtime. Colorado's proving to be a very good team.
Yeah.
People are talking about
Rutgers
them being in the playoffs.
Team. I mean,
so we can't. It's like when what do they have when. Especially ladies look in the mirror and they don't think they look right or they look a little heavy or something. It's like we have this issue and we do something good and we're just like we're looking in the mirror and we're like, oh no, I'm fat. It's like, no, you're a good team. Nebraska's a good team. We got issues we got to work on. But I agree with you, Karl, that I think it's if you can stop the Big Ten's leading rusher, at least at the time, I don't know where stats are today at game time, but if you can stop the Big Ten's leading rusher at the 2-yard line and we're stopping 6 plays.
That's incredible. I mean, seriously.
I mean, there was a time I'd be like, shit, we're never going to be able to stop them. Hopefully, we'll get the ball and maybe we'll get lucky and go get another touchdown.
Well, like Jeff said, I mean, we would have been happy with a field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird though? Like how back in the day we felt that way against Oklahoma. Like Oklahoma was the only team that was like, oh God, we're not going to get this. Like when you ran up against adversity against Oklahoma, you had that feeling. But everywhere else, and then the '90s came, and you no longer had that feeling. Even in bad games, you're like, oh well, it's just a matter of time. We're going to beat the shit out of them. So it's like amazing how the majority of my life, is hey, it's okay. It can go bad for a little bit. We're going to turn it around. To now, we've been conditioned over the last 20 years to just reserve ourselves. Oh, well, it's just going to go to crap on us.
That's called being a football fan. That's a long-term football fan. You go through your ups and downs like that.
Well, what you said, Jeff, reminds me of that video where Barry Switzer, Oklahoma head coach Barry Switzer at the time, it's before Tom Osborne beat Oklahoma his first time after taking over from Devaney. And so it was like 76 or 77. Nebraska was a better team. I mean, they actually, one of the players, Oklahoma players in their locker room said the prayer and said, please, Lord, don't let the best team win today. And Oklahoma did win. So anyway, that reminded me of that. So we're going to highlight in just a little bit our Helena native, Brian Buschini, that I've known most of his life.
And it's too bad the stash isn't here.
Yeah, the stash would probably have some today. It would have gone. It would have been an extra at least 20 minutes and worthwhile, to have his comments on it. But maybe we can at least play the video for him because he's not going to watch this.
Well,
if he's not in it, he's not going to watch it.
I think he skipped out today because he'd be gloating over this. So yeah, maybe he realized.
Here's the deal. We'll see if he watches it. Brian, if you get this, I'll buy you a whiskey the next time we get together.
There you go.
But if you don't bring it up, you're not getting your free whiskey.
Yeah, I'll buy him one too. That's two. That's two drinks that Brian gets.
That's 2 free drinks
if he brings this up.
If he gets this far, yep.
Yes. Well, there we go. We're gonna hold him to that.
He's got. We should give him a code word. He's got to repeat. What would it be? Syphilis.
Syphilis. Yes.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's a good one though. That's the.
All right,
let's do that.
There we go. We'll see if he whispers it.
If he gets two drinks. Yes,
we got a test for him.
That's a good one. That's awesome.
So I'll give you a minute. Now this is a bad thing, a little heartache, but you were at the game, the Montana game, before we shipped to Buschini. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a moment. The reason to drink whiskey.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Grizz lost. But I got to hold them accountable. They can't keep they can't make adjustments at halftime. They were dumb. They needed to make those adjustments in like the second quarter. You can't play catch up. And they did it. I mean, they were down 17-0. And they made a comeback. They got the lead, but then it was just teetered back and forth. There has to be some adjustments earlier. You can't keep relying on making a comeback. So they lost to Weber State, and Weber's now ranked, even though they're like 3-3. We'll see. They play Northern Arizona this week for homecoming. Hopefully they get their crap together.
Jeff, we should look at when Nebraska's next bye is, and if Montana has a home game.
Oh yeah,
could fly out.
Yeah,
I'll get us a couple tickets and could bring the stash on your ticket.
The stash,
yeah,
the stash.
we could go to the game.
Yeah,
but
that'd be awesome.
Well, Coach Rhule said this after the Purdue game, and so we'll revisit that.
It was a heck of a day for Brian Buschini. I mean, 5 touchbacks, in kind of hurricane-ish type conditions. I wasn't sure if he'd get the touchback. I think 4 or 5 touchbacks, right? An amazing tackle that lit the team up. 2 tackles on. He was able to field both those snaps, which were really bad snaps, get them down, then made both tackles on those plays. Pooch, the first one should have been down at the 2, right? So he made an excellent pooch and then put one at the 10, one at the 4. So Buschini, I thought, was magnificent. And Bullock, another guy like that. I always try to talk to our team about the unsung heroes, the guys that no one's noticing. I thought those guys, Alex was one of those guys.
So I'll just take a minute to retell this story, and that's I have proof that a post some time ago when Brian was a senior at Capitol High School, and he had shoveled snow in the fall. He wasn't a senior; he was a junior. He was going into, and he shoveled snow to practice kicking. And so I stopped and shagged some balls, but I took a picture of it, of the dedication, and I put it on my Facebook, Future Husker. And it's awesome that that's actually come to fruition.
Yes, it is.
But so this is...
That's so amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wait, let's see. Let me get the right... Okay, here's the highlight video that I just kind of put these together from his punts of a game, our game here against Rutgers. So this is his first punt. This is where he gets injured. Probably a good thing. Brian is not here to see this. I don't think he liked it very much.
No. Oh man, that's a hard hit. That's brutal. That could have tore up a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw this, I didn't think he was going to be playing the rest of the game.
Yeah, I didn't know. He's a tough kid, though.
Yeah,
he's a tough young man.
Man, but everything you do kicking is linked to your hip and your back.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I saw.
Look at that, man. That's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like hyperextended.
Yeah. That hurts me just looking at it. Ugh.
I can't right now. I had a weird back issue. I haven't had back issues very much, but I look at stuff on the floor and I have to decide whether it's worth bending over to pick it up.
I have pain when I wake up in the morning. Something like that.
See, just watch how they're not covering them even on this. See, they're not going with them. See how open those gunners are?
Yeah.
But this is a great punt.
Yeah,
Gets it down to the 24. From the end of the back of the end zone.
And he didn't outkick his coverage, which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and if you notice, he's taken some one step punts to get it out of there faster, and obviously that's a lot harder.
That's a hard, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't there. They was trying to get more distance out of it, but. And then obviously we just watched the amazing stand by the defense after this.
Yep.
Went in there and said, "Hey, we got it. We're not scoring."
Right up the middle. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, they got to figure that out. I mean, you can't have that.
That's not on Brian.
Protection.
That's on the line.
No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have two backs. Some teams have three. I don't know.
Fifth time this season, the Huskers have had a kick blocked. And Brian Buschini.
Now you watch how he just takes a short one step. He's back kicking from the end zone again.
Boy.
And this is obviously pretty rushed after that block. I mean,
foot right on the end line.
He gets it out. Doesn't get much, with the return.
Is on the Nebraska side of midfield. About the 43-yard line. Not a lot of room to work with here.
And it's good they didn't try to pass it there because they did cover the.
Yeah.
Takes it across the 30. 37 yards on the punt and a 13-yard.
He's holding his back though, man. He's in pain.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Boy.
He's a little happier after the ones that go well, though.
Yeah, but every time he's holding that back. That back. I bet Sunday morning that kid was sore.
Here it is. Here we go.
Good to have a bye.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's a little happier after this one. This is on a rope, man.
No, that was a nice play. And it's a spiral. Nice tight spiral.
It's beautiful pass. And like I said, we knew he could throw. And of course, the stash. Obviously knew very well he could throw, but we had talked about it. We were waiting for this to come out someday. We knew he had the ability, and it's cool to finally see it.
Yeah.
But that one is basically in the grass, that snap. This is beautiful. Bounces at the 1, back, goes out at the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But every time, man, he's holding it back. Jeez.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Nah. That kid spent some time in the tub after this.
Yeah. Now, this is his final punt, and Coach said to him, it's very few opportunities for basically a punter to put the dagger in a game, And now he kicks this from our 10, and it goes out of bounds at their 11.
Yeah.
You can't get, or it doesn't go, it stops at their 11.
Stops.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 7 points down. Now they've got to go into the wind the entire, basically the entire length of the football
That was
field.
a dagger. Because that was the 69 yards. I mean, that was.
Yeah, that was a 69-yarder.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's going to deserve the ice bath.
Yeah, I like that.
That's for sure.
And, of course, because of a great, great game, coming off of last week's very, very good game where Coach Rhule said he was magnificent, with his results of this game, he was named the Big Ten Special Teams, not punter of the week, but
player of the week.
Player of the week. Holy cow.
Good for him.
So we will watch, not quite 7 minutes, Buddy's press conference.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Would you like more, the pass or the 69-yard punt?
69-yard punt just because of the situation. Now, if Jalen would have scored, probably the pass. He told me he was going to score, but we'll have to get him to work on that a little bit.
Were you surprised they did not come after you on that punt? On the last one?
I wasn't, because when we faked it on him, we expected him to play a little bit less aggressively. I saw the two guys in the A gap drop right before the snap, so I felt like I'd have a split second longer to get it off, and so I was able to feel a little bit more calm back there.
I'm curious, having a guy like Brett Maher with you, can you lean on him and get?
Oh yeah, he's the best.
I saw you guys. I think before the band came out, you were punting that direction when you made that, and that was basically the punt you practiced right before.
Yeah, he's just got so much experience because he played in the NFL for so long. So just all these little situations, we're just bouncing ideas off each other. Hey, how are we gonna play the wind here? Different stuff like that. And so before the last punt, actually, he came up to me and said, it's not too many times that a punter has a chance to put a dagger in a game, but he said he called the shot on that and jinxed it or whatever. But so he's just an incredible tool for us. But that's someone who we need to continue to lean on, because obviously there's a lot of improvement to be made in the special teams area.
What was the situation with the wind there in the fourth quarter? It was a 97-degree day. You think it's coming out of the south. And you had a north wind at your back in the fourth quarter. Did your coaches talk to you about wanting the wind in the fourth quarter, and how did you see? Because you have to be, I'm sure you have to be really aware of that as a kicker.
Yeah. So that's something we were looking at the forecast, and it was supposed to flip from pregame. You guys know it was coming from the south, and it switched throughout the game. So that's something that Coach Rhule planned. We wanted the win in the fourth quarter, and it worked out great. And it could have worked out. We might have 0 punts in the fourth quarter. Who knows? It could have gone a million different ways. But that's just something that. The more Coach Rhule, Coach Foley are here, they'll be able to understand the different ways that the winds are going to blow in the stadium, and they're really starting to take advantage of that. So I thought that was huge, because I felt that the Rutgers kid hit a couple touchbacks, and that was huge instead of getting the ball at the one. So just learning to play the wind here is something that's going to be a huge advantage for Nebraska moving forward.
Have you been in a game where the wind has been that much of a factor before?
Oh yeah. I mean, last year when we played Illinois, I remember we had a kickoff that went to the 20, and we recovered it just because it was super windy. So you'll get 3 or 4 games a year in the Big Ten like that, but it's just important to try to hit a clean punt into the wind and see what happens. I got lucky on a roll today going into the wind, so we'll take our wins where we can, I guess. But yeah, I've been in multiple games like that since here.
Was there ever a thought, like that first punt, they got partial thought,
Yeah.
you go down, were you just shocked or hurt, or how bad? And was there ever a thought like, oh, I can't go?
I wasn't. I've had punts blocked before, so I wouldn't say I was shocked. I felt like I had a good operation time, so we gotta have to look at the film and see, how the guy came free. But I went over to the side, and the trainers started working on me, and I took a couple swings to the net, and my back was hurting pretty good. But honestly, it's not something I ever thought about coming out, because it's, God has put me in this position to be able to play here, and this is my senior year. Like, there's so many things, like, why on earth would I, like, a little back pain, like, who cares? Go out there and tough it out. And if I go shank it 5 yards and then it's obviously better for them to put in Camden, then they can take me out that way. But I'm not just going to go out on my own terms. Like, that would just be not, the type of person that I want to be, for this team.
After last stuff, you're talking about how you are part of the defense. When you hear like nice. Ty Robinson and Marquise Buford saying stuff, how does that make you feel on being such a big contributor to a huge one-score win?
Yeah, I don't know. Those are nice words, but I mean, those dudes are dudes. Like, Ty's like a freak of nature, and like John, like, I'm just the punter. But that's really nice of them to say that. I just I'm going competing against a ball, and they're competing against dudes that are trucking me if I go out there. So yeah, it's very nice.
Brian, you guys are obviously working through some things in various areas of special teams. The last week, the effort that you gave to make several tackles, and then tonight to come back from injury and complete a fake punt, the punt at the end. Like, what do you feel about your role right now in setting an example for that whole group that's trying to get things right?
Yeah, I think just try to be the same guy every day. I talked a little bit out there with Jess about just trying to insert myself into any position that I can to help the team better themselves. I don't want to be someone who talks too much, but when there's an opportunity for me to either lead by example or say a thing or two, I'm going to try to do that as best as I can. And so I think over the last 2 weeks, as you've seen, I've had the chance or opportunity in the game to kind of help the team through more of an example role, whether that be making tackles or coming back today when my back was hurting a bit and trying to hit good punts. So, that's something I've just tried to do throughout my career, and it's showing itself a little more now than it has maybe in the past. But just try to be the same guy every day, and the results come. And if I shank it 5 yards, I'll just be the same guy on the next punt.
What times did you practice that pass that you threw today? Is that something you guys rep a lot?
Oh yeah. I've been throwing since my freshman year. I feel really good in my arm, and so. It was crazy looking at the film. They don't cover the gunners past 10 yards, like, ever. So we were like, we owe it to the football gods not to throw it at them. So, it was just a great route by Jay Lloyd. Actually, we were out there at halftime on our practice field because we didn't want them to see anything throwing on the grass, and I felt good. So, we've practiced that thousands of times. Not just that route. That route was specific to this week, but we've been throwing a ton, and I've threw a couple with the quarterbacks this week just because we knew that we had a really good shot with that. So.
When was the last time you threw a pass in a game?
Never. Yeah. A lot of practice, though.
You go on that little turf field, or is it the grass field you're practicing?
The grass, just because we wanted to go the same direction as the game field for the wind. Yeah.
What's the longest punt you've hit in a game?
74 versus Wisconsin. Definitely wasn't my best punt, but it was my longest.
Anything else for Brian?
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, I will agree with Brian that that ultimately, all thanks and glory goes to God, for putting him in a position to make it happen. But he is also, knowing him since he was a little kid, I know how dedicated and hardworking and focused he is when he has a task in mind. And I've seen him kick and kick and kick and kick and kick and kick it home and kick it home and kick on the field. And I know how dedicated he is to perfecting his craft.
And he's also a tough kid because, he was in pain. And that would take a lot of punters out. That's...
Oh, yeah.
You have to feel right. And that kid was in pain.
Right. And so
I'd still be down.
Yeah, I've never gotten up. But it's been fortunate. I just wanted to say congratulations to him. I can't understate it. I'm so thrilled for him. I would have been thrilled for him regardless of what team he was playing for because of knowing him personally.
Yeah,
but to see him do that, my favorite team, the team that I have earliest memories of, and seeing someone I care about, I think I may have secretly indoctrinated him because when they stayed at my place, when they moved back to Montana for a little while, he was kind of up in a room that had all my Husker memorabilia hung up.
And he played for the Grizz, so I'll throw that in.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he played for the Grizz for a year.
He won something, right?
Yeah. National Punter of the Year as a freshman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty well there for the Grizz, too. But, no, I was thrilled watching. That's what I mean. I was thrilled watching him. And if he would have finished his career with the Grizzlies, I would have been thrilled for him then, too. But I'm just so extremely happy for him. And knowing that all his dedication and all his hard work has paid off at this level. And
hope it continues.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
And you never know what's to come next, like Brian would say, God willing. So we do not have a game to preview. We will save that for our next Tuesday, and you will be gone next Tuesday.
I'll be gone next Tuesday.
You got a lady coming to town.
So.
Whoa. Yeah.
My friend from Carolina is coming.
Yeah.
What's the shipping cost on that?
It goes both ways because either I'm going out there or she's coming out here. So.
Shipping from China is free.
Okay.
Free shipping from China.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be taking her to the homecoming game for the Grizz, though, for next Saturday. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, gentlemen, I'll just go around the room, and I guess whatever we want to chat about or final thoughts, just kind of wrap it up. But, Karl, I'll start with you. Obviously we had a victory, 14-7. And
good
what
victory.
Thoughts?
I think there's something to say that the offense struggled, and we still won. And the defense performed. Brian had a great game. Good for him. We need to put things together for Indiana. So
yep. We got another big challenge coming up. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Kind of the same thing. Just like being a fan and then being down so much the last decade or so. Even as a 14-7, it's not a pretty win. It's not other than the defense shined, Brian shined, but just to be able to take that from, what did we had 11 possessions, 8 punts or something like that. We scored twice and threw an interception. And you come out with a victory. That's something to just kind of hang our head or be proud of regardless.
Right.
They don't have to score 50 points to be proud of that team. We should be proud of that goal line stand.
Oh yeah.
Our amazing punter. And then just look at that as a team, coaching staff team, that none of those stats look great, and you still pull off a victory. So I guess it's kind of weird to not see a great game, but still feel that much pride and ready to go. But I sure liked it. I really did.
Well, yeah, I echo that, and I guess that just makes me think of that saying, defense wins championships, because it certainly did. Because not only the goal line stand from the 2, that one obviously stands out, but then they had to punt from the end zone again, and they got it. Rutgers got it at like Nebraska 25, and the defense goes right back out there again and stops them, and they get no points. So the defense really showed up. I'm super impressed. I'm excited to see where this defense can go. I hope they continue to improve, and if they do, I don't think there's a team in the nation that they can't play with defensively.
Right.
And we have other issues we got to clean up, but I will save any other thoughts on the future and the upcoming game and stuff like that. I got to kind of do a sort of a deep dive into our opponent coming up. I know they're very good, but
and that's going to be a good test. Indiana's a good team.
Yeah, they're a very good team. Yeah. So undefeated.
Yeah.
So we will see where we're at, and obviously we have to go there. So
yeah,
it's going to be a difficult road game. So any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, I clean it up, but I feel really good about our defense right now.
Yeah.
So.
Jeff, any final thoughts?
No, just happy for the bye and go Big Red and excited to see what they can do when they get to Indiana.
Yeah, they can spend some time in that cold plunge and get healed up and do some game planning. And all right, well, thanks, gentlemen, and hopefully our friend Brian gets better and better, and he's ready to go on Tuesday.
I agree. Yep.
All right.
The stash. We need the stash.
The stash. All right.
Yep.
Cheers, gentlemen. Go Big Red.
Take care. All right.
See you guys.